Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Columbus River Dragons live Q&A. Obviously, the news came out yesterday, our 2020-2021 season update, and there were a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, and a lot of excitement, too. And we wanted to take this time to address some of our fans that might be a little unclear as to what things are going on, or just maybe want more information as to what the 2020-2021 hockey season will look like in a nutshell. Right now, what you're looking at on screen is a visual mock-up that we did in the office here today to show people a proposed and pretty much concrete, and we'll get to our panelists who will tell you more about it in a little bit, of what social distancing might look like in the Civic Center and how this could diminish capacity. As you can see, the little pins relative to the seating sections of 102A and 202A, those are the available seats right now that we've been looking at, whereas the dots that are actually printed in, that tells you the rows and how many different seats are in the Civic Center right now. This visual element and a couple of others will be up on the River Dragons site as we update our ticket information throughout this week and get everyone ready to launch with the Inside Edge Club and many other different things that go in to the 2020-2021 season. We're going to pan the camera out now and welcome in our three panelists as well as myself. I'm Zach DeBozart, VP of Communications for the team. Over on the left, Assistant GM and Season Ticket Liaison, that's Shannon Rutledge. In the middle, everyone knows him, it's Jerome Boom Boom Bichard. And over on the right, it's team owner Jeff Krupp. Jeff, I want to start with you. Obviously, there is a lot that went into making even the idea of a season possible. So kind of describe where we're at right now, because obviously we know there's a lot of moving parts, but with what came out yesterday to where we're at right now, what is your synopsis on this?
Well, what's been kicked around by league members and by buildings is to play or not to play. If we play, it's become clear that it's going to be with a greatly reduced capacity and also reduced number of games. That said, we've decided we're going to launch a December start schedule in the next few weeks once all the dates are hammered out. That doesn't even guarantee we might start and this pandemic could hit again and could shut us down. It's made it tough sledding to get together and offer season tickets and have any kind of normal business operations. So what we decided to do was, first of all, we had to look at the budget, see what it would take to operate the season. It was either play or not play. We have a lot of fewer streams of revenue for the team, but we want to play. We want to continue to build on the excitement that was generated last season, all of it due to our fans, in no small part to our front office and coaches and players. It's a battle, and it was very important through this. We wanted to find a way to allow for season ticket holders, if they did want to come to every game, they can. They can get their first in line for seats. I know some people were thinking that wasn't the case. They can come in one day before anything goes on sale and buy every single game, as many tickets as they want to every single game. They can also opt out of some games. If they know they're going to be gone on Christmas Day, they don't have to buy Christmas Day. Not that we're playing Christmas Day. We're not. The season ticket holder and the core fan base, the partials and the people that come 10 games, they're very, very, very important to our success, and they were put first and foremost in this plan. Additionally, if they wanted to take the entire season off, we have a program where they could skip this season and protect their seats for what we're hoping is a normal 21-22. Again, no guarantees of that.
Yeah, and you mentioned too, it was, it's a battle, it seems like, because not to say it's necessarily one against the other, it's just starting up is so different nowadays.
We don't know. We just, you get good news today and you get bad news tomorrow. You get good news on Friday. It's just, we don't know. This is uncharted territory. This is, we have a lot of people on board that know what they're doing, but we don't know what we're dealing with. It's like making a cake and not knowing the ingredients. So bottom line is we're excited to play. Our building, even with 200 fans in it, is exciting to be in. It's the best building in the league. We have the best fans in the league. So we're going to go at it. If we're allowed to, we will go at it. And I wanted to make sure I thanked the fans for being patient with us, because I know talking to everyone when they run into people in the city, and there's just a lot of questions, and there's still a lot of questions, and I just thank them for their support. The folks in the Civic Center office have worked tirelessly. The folks in our office have worked tirelessly. It's the hardest working off season with nothing to do that I've ever seen. So it's just want to thank everybody for getting us this far, and now hopefully we could start in December and have some kind of normal function.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, we know we're holding you up from a prior engagement, Jeff, but we thank you for being able to take the time and speaking with the fans and speaking about this process. Obviously, next week is going to be another big week as well. So
Yes.
we'll let you get to that, but thank you for being able to spend some time. And
It's actually
talk with
Friday.
us.
It's Friday.
That's right. So being able to talk with us and talk with the fans. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank
Jeff.
you.
Thank you. Jerome, I want to move it to you with that. You've had prior experience in the season ticket holder game with the Cottonmouths and really being involved with this process. As Shannon is our current. You were in that position as well. I mean, the Cottonmouths never really had anything like this. And when you look at what the River Dragons are planning right now, what's your take on it in terms of how things could be with a operating 2021 season?
Yeah, you know what? I guess the biggest thing is the fact that Jeff and our River Dragon group is committed to trying to keep hockey here and play, whether it's the right or whether it's I guess this is the best scenario we possibly can kind of put together with the pandemic that's going on, and hopefully everything kind of gets back to normal at some capacity. But I mean, I look back and 3 years ago when the Cottonmouths left and there wasn't any hockey. You know what? Probably need to give Jeff and Jeff a pat in the back just to go through it, because I think there's some teams that are probably going to opt out of playing. Maybe not in our league, but I know other leagues. That's a
There have been a
possibility.
number of junior teams that have had that. I think that's what was important to get across to fans was we're committed to playing some sort of league competition, whatever it might be.
Right, and you know what? Looking at the picture with the seating charts and just given an option or a visual of what it looks like, it looks a whole lot more sparse out in the bowl. Like when you see all the white kind of seats that are available, there's a whole lot more blue out there than white. So if you think of the numbers that we're trying to get to and try to take care of our Edge Club, our season ticket holders, you're the people that we're trying to kind of take care of the most, and this gives the best option with the pandemic or with the COVID and social distancing. There's limited seats out there. 1,400 seats isn't a whole lot.
Yeah, that's a good transition to you, Shannon, because he mentioned the Inside Edge Club and season ticket holders in the same sentence. It is kind of, it's more a transition more than it is a dumping of one and going to the other, because as season ticket liaison, I mean, you're still heading up the Inside Edge Club all in the same. So kind of let fans know about that, because I think a lot of people are confused on, well, if I was a season ticket holder, am I an Inside Edge Club member? What goes into that?
What am I now? Absolutely. So I first wanted to start off with saying hello to everyone who I might not have had the opportunity to speak with yet, and also just a very big thank you to those who I have spoken with over the summer. And my lack of information that we've had so far, we have a very experienced team here, and frankly, these are just circumstances that no one has had to deal with before. So we're just making the best of what we can deal with right now, and we're planning and we're altering as we go. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I think we're all
Thanks for your patience.
yes, thank you for your patience. And we're all very excited for hockey to return, and we have faith and we have good hopes for the options that we've created so far. So essentially what the Inside Edge program, Inside Edge Club membership is basically our new name for our season ticket holders. It's you're a season ticket holder, that's what you're signing up for. It's just kind of some new branding that we're working with, I guess. And the Inside Edge Club membership is one option that our season ticket holders from last season, those prospective season ticket holders who have signed up over the summer, who I've spoken with, and also anybody watching right now who might not know what it's all about but is also interested. It's open to everybody. So we've gone in and we've come up with quite a few different options that we want to extend to everybody who has credit with us. Obviously, with the season being cut short last season, we have money allocated to all of you, and we first want to assure you that that money, you are entitled to that money, and we have some options for you of how you might want to use that money. So as far as the Inside Edge Club, like I said, it's that new name for those season ticket holders, and there are a lot of perks that we know we can offer right now, as well as things that we'll try to build in the future. Right now, it is you opt into that $25 deposit for that 21-22 season, and that gets you pre-sale to those single game tickets for this season. It also gets you pre-sale and discounted playoff 2021 tickets.
That's this year, right?
That's this year, yes. We were talking.
Because I know it's confusing, 2021, 21, 22 or whatever, but I mean, no, that's this year for the playoffs.
Correct. Yeah, we are in 2020. We're talking about.
Sorry, you were right in your.
No, that's okay. That's okay. we talked about what we were going to be calling this season versus last season, so try to be as clear as I can about that. Sorry. Discounted playoff tickets and pre-sale as well for this next playoffs that we will be coming up on, hopefully, and I'm sure. You will also, probably one of the most exciting things I would think is you lock in your season ticket prices. So the prices that we had previously advertised before, we've since taken down that information since it doesn't apply right now, but our season ticket prices that we advertised for this coming season, you will be locked in for that for the following season. You will also be able to reserve your seat. So I know there was a lot of returning season ticket holders. There was a lot of excited new season ticket holders that were waiting to find out about where they were going to be sitting in the Civic Center. And this is a great opportunity to reserve that seat. So that's another great perk with the Inside Edge program.
So we'll get a lot more into that in just a quick second. We've had the owner perspective, the coach perspective, the executive perspective, and we had a player hop into the studio here. So I wanted to welcome him in, joining us in kind of just off the cuff. Wanted to say hi. This is one of our new signings, Josh Petrantonio. Josh, welcome to the program. Thanks for dropping in. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. I'm excited to be here. It's been a tough off season with all the unknowns and all that stuff, especially for us players. But we've been working hard. We've been training. This might be a blessing in disguise. A late start for some of us older guys gives us our bodies a little more rest and a little more time to get ready. But we're itching to get back out there, and whatever capacity of fans we're allowed to have come that time, we're going to be ready to play. So.
And one thing I want to address too, because I see chat coming up with it. And guys, again, if you have questions at all during this, leave them in the chat. We're watching it, and we're going to be talking about that later on, literally about 5-10 minutes from now, once we get through the last final details here. But a few of you are asking the 200 number. That was a hypothetical number. We have a more likely estimated number, but that's still not concrete. But it's not 200. That was just sort of brought in as an example with that in there. So just wanted to let you know about that. Josh, thank you so much for. You want to stick around? I mean, I don't have any complaints about having you.
You can go. There's only.
I gotta pop out here, but
there's only room enough for two right now.
All right. Well,
only enough for one beautiful man on this side.
Oh, wow.
I'll leave room here.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate your time and hopping into the studio. Shannon, let's go ahead and hit back. Hit the wrong button there. Shannon, I want to talk about the Inside Edge Club a little bit more, like you mentioned. Talked about all the different things that people can do with their credits. Obviously, the Inside Edge Club is something that we want to get people in because it's got that season ticket holder perk that you mentioned. But what more can go into that, and can we still have seats we still get the early access to them, the I want my seat,
Right.
without doing that sort of thing.
Absolutely. So specifically talking about that Inside Edge program and going back to that pre-sale. So what we're looking at right now is that those that have credit with us on file, so again, those season ticket holders from last year, those who signed up over the summer, and since it is open to everybody to sign up for that Inside Edge program, as soon as you do that, you will have access to that pre-sale over at the Civic Center box office.
And the pre-sale is roughly, I believe it's what, 10 days, 13 days?
I believe it's about 2 weeks. We're looking at an estimate start date of November 2nd, and that should run through November 16th. And then that cutoff date for that pre-sale, and then tickets will be on sale to the general public November 17th.
Gotcha. All right. Want to get to a few questions. We posted up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram earlier today, asking for some questions in a thread there, and a lot of you are coming in to the chat as well. Again, we appreciate that. First question we had was from Hannah on Facebook. If we choose to use our deposit towards joining the Inside Edge, will we still have the separate door to enter through like season ticket holders as well as other perks? I know we just talked about perks, but I mean, how much do we know of right now, and what might still be up in the air?
Sure. So as far as the perks, personally, myself, working with season tickets and the whole team here at the River Dragons, we're going to do everything we can to include as many perks as we can for our season ticket holders. As far as the VIP access door specifically, we are not sure at this point, but I'm going to do everything I can to include as many perks as possible, anything that was included last season, or even some new perks as well.
We got another special guest hopping into the stream here.
For the record, they didn't tell me there was anything going on, so I'm sorry I was out with the council meeting on a different matter. But we love you all. Listen, things are tough, but we're gonna get through here, and we love you. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to this.
Little loud.
It's a little
That's
loud.
okay.
Listen, work with us. Let's get through this. We'll win a short season championship. By the way, I already apologize to the city council because when we win the cup, we're gonna put teal in all the water fountains. So that'll be pretty cool. But anyway, sorry to interrupt your little party here. I've got to go across the parking lot and work on a different little thing there. So, and if it gets boring, we have dogs in the back room I can release.
All right, thank you. That's Scott Brand, President and General Manager of the
Scott Brand,
team.
everyone.
Yeah, never.
Didn't even need an introduction. So live television, everybody here. All right, a couple of questions from the chat here, and I want to reiterate. For Shannon, you mentioned credits a little bit. People that have put in money or even paid in full for their 2020-2021 season tickets, what happens to that, and how can they allocate if they still want their full season for 2021? That is annoying to say.
Right.
21-22.
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a few options for you. So if you decide to use that credit over at the box office, once that pre-sale window starts, again, we're expected to start November 2nd, you're able to walk into the box office. It will be served on a first come, first served basis. The box office hours are, of course, decided over there at the Civic Center, usually open all day, I believe, Monday through Friday. You are able to walk up to the box office and purchase as many or as little games as you want, like Jeff had mentioned earlier. You also have first access to seat availability. So besides that seat chart that we looked at earlier, the sooner you get there, the more opportunity you have to get those seats that you're interested in.
Got another question. It's been popping up in the chat a couple of times, and we had it here on the forums. Emily and Nate on Facebook, and a couple of the people in the chat. I apologize, I can't name drop you. It's going quickly for me. How much are tickets going to be now? Because it did mention in the press release that tickets were going to be going up due to things like, the reduced maximum capacity.
Right.
We don't exactly know. Do we have a range? Or what can we tell people on that right now?
We do have a range, like Zach mentioned, just with kind of some of the obstacles that we're facing right now. We're making a temporary increase on single game tickets, and again, this is expected to only last this season. Right now, we know that ticket prices will range from about $18 to $30, depending on which section, which area you'd like to sit in. We are not doing general admission tickets. We still have those 4 price levels that we normally do.
And you need to have no general admission, obviously, because of the sort of like pod seating that we saw from the beginning of it. And you can kind of see Jerome's holding up a little here. I'll zoom in on that a little bit. That's a another proposed thing that we got where the yellow shows the pods where groups of 3, 4, 5, whatever it might be. And how was that decided, Shannon? 'Cause I think a lot of people might think, oh, well, you just checkerboard it. You know, how was the setup we're looking at decided?
This was actually we worked closely again with our landlords here at the Civic Center. They actually
We're the tenants. We're the tenants.
yes, our landlords here. They actually looked at our sales history from last season, and they based this off of what our fans were interested in last season and our groups, our families that we had last season. That's how this was determined.
And we have another question popping in. How many home games are there going to be? I think I can actually answer this one because I was dealing with Scott and we were getting drafts from the FPHL. We're looking at somewhere in the range of about 20 home games. It could be more. It could be around 22 to 24. We're not entirely sure. As the whole gist of this conference has sort of been, things are fluid. And,
So realistically, if you're looking, what did we have last year, 28?
Yes.
So 28, I mean, 20 to, so we're missing a couple here and there.
Right, and I think people will see, especially with a later start, that to get those in is still going to be a good amount. Another one here coming from Haley on Facebook. If we join the club and buy tickets during the pre-sale phase, will there be a way to buy tickets for every home game so we'll have seats, or is it just the first home game to be able to purchase? Shannon?
So if I'm understanding this correctly, so during that pre-sale period for, like I said, about 2 weeks for those Inside Edge Club members and our past season ticket holders, not to keep repeating myself, but there's a few different groups that go into that. You're welcome within that time frame to purchase as many games as you want, as many tickets as you want as well, and then that November 17th date is when it will open up to the general public, and that will kind of, you don't have to buy all the games. If you come back in on November 20th and want to decide you want to buy more games, then you're welcome to do that as well.
And another thing, too, is that some people have brought up, if my seat is selected for one of the pods that are available, can I get that?
Right. So it's again, it's going to be on first come, first served basis. So if depending on when you're able to make it in, everyone has different schedules. Everyone has their own things going on. We're going to find out exactly how we can organize that. If we're going to be able to call into the box office, if it has to be in person, that's still being decided. But if your seat is available and if it's not blocked out due to social distancing, and if it is available, you can scoop it up for as many games as you want.
Very good. Okay. We're running, we don't really have a time limit, but we sort of put like a 25 minute cap on this. I do see a couple of people mentioning are the games still going to be streamed on YouTube? The answer is yes. Since I'm kind of media communications end, the league has not directed us any different than what we did last year with YouTube streams. And many of you might have saw our press release earlier. Actually, it was later in the summer. It was back in like June, I want to say, where we have a new flagship on 106.9 Really Rocks with our friends at PNB Broadcasting. So you're still going to be able to follow the River Dragons through YouTube and through radio and through our social medias as well, like you're watching us on Facebook Live. So there's going to be tons of different ways to follow the team, and we are doing absolutely everything in our power to get people into the stands, to recreate the energy we want to create, because right now we're coming up. This would be about a month to go before the season's out, and while we know that that's not happening, we're still pushing to get as much of a season in as we can. So we hope you bear with us. There's a lot still to be decided. There's a lot that could go right and or wrong. We're trending
or change. Not wrong, but maybe change.
Right. Well, either way you look at it, there's so much fluid, and of course there's going to be people that think anything different is going to be that way. But I want people to understand it's a very fluid situation, and we are keeping everyone as informed as we can now that we're starting to get a clearer picture. So as we're coming up against it, Jerome, Shannon, do you guys have any last things you'd like to say before we sign off this conference here?
Well, I do. Since I have a couple more months before hockey starts, give Boom Boom a call if you guys need to sell a house or looking for a house. Hey, the Man's Paris Group. That's my it's my team. That's my team away from the River Dragons.
Never afraid to plug.
Shameless plug.
You never know. You never know. No, but I just really think obviously Jeff's not here, but I think you got to give Jeff and Sander and the family a thank you for doing this, because you know what, there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't do it. So, you know, right now, God willing, hopefully there's hockey in a couple months, and we're rocking and rolling with 1,400 people in the building, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Come November, December, maybe that number will go will go up when things straighten out.
Shannon, anything from you before we sign it off?
Yes, I just want to let everybody know that with Jeff's letter that was sent out to season ticket holders on Sunday, and then with our press release yesterday, it was definitely a lot of information to digest. And we just want to let you know that you were talking about adding a couple things to our website on our tickets tab. So this week, check back over there. We worked on a little diagram to kind of explain all of our options a little bit better, break it down. But just quickly to go over that, besides your Inside Edge and box office credit, we also are going to offer, if anyone was interested in using some of their credit as merchandise credit for Dragons gear here at the office, we are also going to add an additional 20% onto that. For example, if you wanted to use $100, we would in turn add $20 to that. And then you are able to roll over any credit that you wish to our 21-22 season. And then of course, as always, like I said, that you are entitled to that money, and we will also write refunds.
All right, so that's going to sign us off for now. For those of you watching on the Facebook Live, this will be re-rendered and put onto a replay, so in case you missed anything, wanted to go back, it'll also be posted up on our YouTube channel tomorrow morning. I'm sure we'll be answering a lot of questions throughout the week.
I got one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. Just call Matt, Diego, call the boys at the office. Just say hello. I mean, you know, I would imagine they've done all their calls for the last month or so, but I mean, just call in and say hello and see what's going on with the River Dragons.
Yeah, and there's a lot of us, who are answering the phones, the River Dragons, and as we mentioned too in the release, Shannon, the Inside Edge program and all the processing is going to start next week. Whatever route, whatever path you'd like to take.
Yes.
We wanted to present as much information to everyone as we could, because this is obviously different. It is beyond the norm, but I think 2020 has been a year that has been well beyond the norm. So. With that, we're going to sign it off from here. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Jerome. Thank you, Jeff, Josh, and Scott, who have popped in for different moments, making cameo appearances. I'm Zach DeBozart. Again, the office line, 706-507-GOAL, 507-4625. We're around during business hours to answer any questions you might have. We understand this might be confusing. This might be uncertain. But we want to talk you through and help you understand where we're coming from, because we want hockey to be on just as much as you guys, and we're doing everything in our power to absolutely make sure that we can put on a good product for everybody. So we'll sign it off there. Thank you so much, and good night.